Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Emerald. In the last episode, we got ourselves our starter, went out to Route 103 to beat up Brendan, and got a Pokedex, some Pokeballs, just the whole deal that's required to become a trainer. This time, we are going to be heading out onto Route 101 and starting our journey for real this time. So the way I'm going to be doing bios is a bit different for this series when compared to Pokemon Soul Silver. Instead of just going over a Pokemon and its evolutions at the same time, I'm going to go over Pokemon as they are able to be caught in the wild, and if their evolutions are not able to be caught in the wild in this area, I will be going over them, or ever in the region, I will be going over the evolutions as well. However, every Pokemon that I am not catching to be a part of my team is going to be post-commentary. It's going to be done in the future. Well, it's already been done, but I'm going to continue saying future me just because that's the one who's editing, whatever. But Pokemon that I do want to use for my team will all be in the live commentary, which means their bios will have less information in them, but you'll get to see how they work throughout the Let's Play as I use them. I'm hoping this is gonna be an okay remedy for just the low quality of the bios I had in Soul Silver, because I truthfully don't know much about competitive Pokemon anymore. The Pokemon community has gotten, like, very, 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 very irreparably toxic over the past year or two. Not even the past year or two, it's just been over the past couple weeks, honestly, or like a month. Just because of the whole Pokemon Sword and Shield situation that I honestly don't care about. I still think it's going to be a great game. Everybody's up in arms about Pokemon, and something tells me that's going to spread to every form of Pokemon media. That said, the Pokemon I want to use for my team is Zigzagoon. Zigzagoon is pretty weak. It's the Route 1 normal type of this generation. It doesn't learn much variety in moves through level up. It just gets a whole lot of normal type moves and maybe a few ground type moves here and there. But what it lacks in its stats, it makes up for in an incredible new ability. I mean, it has to be new. This is the first generation that had abilities, called Pickup. Pickup adds a chance to pick up certain items after winning battles. It also makes it so the Pokemon uses or steals the item of a Pokemon after it's used in battle. This is a very good ability, and I'm honestly going to go out of my way to catch quite a few Zigzagoon just so I can have multiple Pokemon with this ability. The ability is more helpful in Ruby and Sapphire just because in Emerald and XD, the ability scales with level, while in Ruby, Sapphire, and Colosseum, you pick up the same items with the same chance no matter what level your Pokemon is, which means you can get a lot of rare candies just by going throughout the game with a few Zigzagoon on your team. I'm not going to be having a few Zigzagoon on my team throughout the whole game, but I am going to catch a few just because it also makes an incredible HM slave. With that, though, into the post-commentary, which means about 1 minute of future me. Past me. What happened? Starting off, we have Wurmple. Wurmple is the generic bug type. I mean, that's all there really is to it. It doesn't get any good moves. It gets Tackle, String Shot, and Poison Sting, I believe, which we'll get more into what makes Wurmple unique later, when we can actually encounter its evolutions very soon from now. But as things stand, Wurmple isn't very good. Next up is Poochyena. Poochyena is actually a pretty cool Pokemon as far as I know, but not in Generation 3. In Generation 3, Dark-type moves are special, which means that it's not going to get use out of its higher special attack stat. That's not to say it's useless. Bite can still do quite a lot of damage early game just because of the same type attack bonus, but yeah, it meets its full potential in a later game, and the same goes for its evolution that we'll be talking about later. So yeah, those are the Pokemon you can catch around here. It's Route 1. You're not going to be expected to catch a ton of super impressive Pokemon stat-wise, but I do like the Pokemon you can catch around this route. The Pokemon are certainly better in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire just because of the physical special split that took place in Gen 4. But you can't go wrong with really anything in a single-player Pokemon game, just because, I mean, you're not here to focus on competitive, you're here to win the Pokemon League, as it were. I mean, as it is, whatever, I don't care. But yeah, I named my Zigzagoon that I'm going to be using for the team Appa. That is a reference to Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that is a show that I have yet to watch in any significant detail, but I do have some fond memories watching it when I was little with my older brother, and Appa was my favorite because he was very large and cute, and it might not make much sense why Zigzagoon is named that for now, but trust me, it will make sense in the future. I'm going to speed up while I catch more Zigzagoon. I'm only going to catch 2 more. I don't want to have a full team of Zigzagoon just because most of the Pokemon I do want to use in my team are caught very early game in this one, so yeah. Okay, that's all the Zigzagoon I want. I forgot that I actually caught another one, so whatever. I'm going to go into the PC, the Pokemon Center. Gonna ignore all the people in it. We don't need any information about what Oldale Town is. Head up on Route 103, though. I believe this, yeah, this is 103. There's one new encounter we can find here. The only new Pokemon on Route 103 is Wingull. Wingull is a water flying type, meaning it has a 4 times weakness to electric, and it doesn't get the ability that makes it really worth catching until a much later generation. That said, as far as flying types go, Wingull and its evolution aren't bad at all. That double typing does make it so it learns quite a few unique moves. It gets Wing Attack and Water Gun rather early on, which are both pretty good early game, especially Wing Attack. You can actually use that for the entirety of the game if you want to. So, I mean, if you're looking for a water or flying type, or both, then yeah, you can go for Wingull, and it won't disappoint you probably, but who am I to say? So yeah, Wingull's clearly not the greatest Pokemon around, but I mean, I actually did consider using it on my team, just because a member of Reset, which is a group I'm a part of on YouTube here, it's always on the end card if you want to check it out, but a fellow member of Reset named Abby, her first shiny Pokemon was a Wingull, and she despises Wingull now, to say the least, because she sure didn't catch a Wingull that day. I'm not sure what the circumstances are. I don't know if she was actually looking for it or she just happened to find one, but she sure knocked it out, and she has despised Wingull ever since. And I was considering using one on my team just so I could be like, oh, I love my Wingull so much whenever I'm around her, but no. I finished sketching the footprints of a rare Pokemon, but it turns out they were only my own footprints. This was the guy who was blocking us from leaving town earlier. What an asshole. On Route 102, there are more Pokemon. 5 minutes worth of pre-recorded bios, in fact. But first, there is a Pokemon I want to use on my team here. I told you they were all early game, and oh my god, here it is now on the first try. It's also a male, just like I wanted. Okay. Lotad is a water grass type Pokemon with 2 rain-based abilities. Rain is a weather condition, obviously, and it also affects battle systems and Pokemon, so it can either have Swift Swim, which makes it go doubly as fast, which I wouldn't recommend just because it already has a relatively low speed stat, or it can have Rain Dish, which restores some HP every turn while it's raining. The typing is weird. It grants it some half resistances, like it just neutral effectiveness from electric, but it also grants a weakness to flying type. However, fire also isn't super effective, so it doesn't have a ton of weaknesses, and I mean, its stats aren't awful. They are as Lotad, granted, but it evolves pretty soon after, so, or after you catch it, so yeah. Went ahead and named it Mirror Bee. That is a reference to Pokemon Coliseum, which is a game I will Let's Play probably soon, honestly, because I said I was swearing off Pokemon Let's Plays after Soul Silver for like a year, but I'm already here recording Pokemon Emerald, so, and I know for sure it hasn't been a year since I finally wrapped up Soul Silver. So yeah, anyway. I hope you enjoy these 5 minutes of pre-recorded bios for Pokemon on Route 102. Also, there was just a skip there, so I can tell you that up in the corner I will actually be going through this route while I go over these bios, just so I'm not wasting too much time in the episode. Starting on Route 102, we have C-Dot. C-Dot isn't as good as I want it to be. It's a counterpart to the Lotad that we just caught for the team, but it's not really equal. The Grass Dark type isn't really as good as the Water Grass type, which gives Lombre, Lotad, and Ludicolo a load of resistances that it can use. Meanwhile, it really just adds weaknesses to Nuzleaf and C-Dot and Shiftry, so yeah. As I said in the first episode, though, don't let my bios discourage you if you want to use it. It evolves at the same level and through a similar method. So, yeah, if you're looking for a grass type, you could do worse, I assure you that much, but I don't know, I'd wait. Ralts is a generic psychic type Pokemon. Okay, so a lot of people really love Ralts, and I don't blame them at all. Ralts isn't bad in any way, and once it evolves it gets a very high special attack stat. My issue with Ralts is when you first catch it, the only move it can really know is Growl, and it takes a few levels for it to learn even a basic attacking move like Confusion. It's not terrible, and it definitely does get better later in the series, but as it is now, yeah, there's a better psychic type coming up not too far from now, like maybe 5 episodes, I guess. Ralts' evolution, Kirlia, can't be found later in the game, so I'm going to go over it now. Kirlia is kind of similar to Kadabra, a Pokemon that we used in Fire Red. It has a similarly high special attack, though not quite as high due to the less strict requirements for its evolution, and it's pretty fast. There's not much to say about Kirlia, but once it evolves into Gardevoir, then it's really good. If you're playing the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, it actually has the Fairy type, which just adds a weakness to Poison, but gets rid of a weakness to Dark. That's not the best thing in the world, but it's definitely not awful. There's no real reason to use it when there are better psychic types, specifically one that, again, we'll be seeing later. But, I mean, I just love Gardevoir's design, and I think I'd use it over the later psychic type just because of that. Like, I just love how it looks. Gallade is where things get really good, though. Kirlia has a split evolution from Generation 4 onward, where it can evolve into a psychic fighting type called Gallade. Gallade is a very good Pokemon. It learns some really strong physical moves. It gets same type attack bonus on both Psycho Cut and Close Combat, which are both incredible moves. It gets Night Slash, Leaf Blade, Vacuum Wave, which, while it's a special move, is still good because it gets priority. There's not much bad I can say about Gallade other than the fact that its ability leaves a little to be desired, because who's going to use a Dark-type move on a Gallade? But whatever. If you want to use Ralts and you didn't like Gardevoir, maybe you'll like Gallade. The Kirlia does have to be male to evolve into Gallade, though. You'll also be waiting until the end of the game if you're going to use a Gallade in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because you don't get the stone necessary to evolve Kirlia into it until, like, pretty much, like, 15 minutes before the beginning of the final area. Don't know why that choice was made. Surskit sucks. Okay, I should probably give it a little more than that. Surskit is a water bug type, and it's not very good. Swift Swim isn't a terrible ability doubling its speed in the rain, but also it just doesn't hold up for that long. Its special attack stat is 50, which is equal to Mudkip's, however, it doesn't evolve for a while. And then when it does evolve into Masquerain, the only real good quality it has is the fact that it's now a bug flying type, which is marginally better than Water Bug, I guess, maybe. I don't know, I haven't done that much research on that. And it gets Air Slash. It also has Intimidate for an ability, which is extremely good, lowering the attack stat of both opponents in front of you if you're in a double battle, and only the one if you're in a single battle. It's not the worst, but it's not something I would personally recommend. However, Masquerain is the best bug type you'll be able to get early in the game this time around. So yeah, this route has some surprisingly good Pokemon for something as early as it is. I don't know why I just used Astonish on a normal type, but I think in my bio I went a little too hard on Ralts, Kirlia, and Gardevoir, and a little too, like, I guess nice on Gallade. They are all usable, and I mean, it's level 7 that Ralts learns Confusion, so it doesn't actually take that long to get a decent attacking move. My main point is that there is a better Psychic type coming up, and I mean, you'll get it sooner than you'll get Gardevoir, but its stats are a tiny bit lower. But you can also evolve that a second time if you have a friend to trade with, and it's a little complicated, and I don't know what I was thinking when I was talking about Ralts through Gardevoir, honestly. And then, especially when I went over Gallade, why was I so nice to Gallade? I don't even like Gallade. I love Gardevoir. Why was I so mean to Gardevoir? I'm having like I'm having a crisis over this. But yeah, I've taken a lot longer clearing the battles on this route than I would like, just because I spent a little too much time using Lotad against these Pokemon, despite the fact that Lotad can deal very little damage. We've got Pecha Berries here. These are berries that heal poisoning. This is actually the first game where berries got specific names and effects to go with them. There are, I believe, like 30-something types of berries in this game, as opposed to like the 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 that were in Gold and Silver and Crystal. Like, berries, they went hard pushing the fact that berries are a thing to stay in this game. And berries they've actually become some of the most helpful items in the series, starting with Diamond and Pearl. I say starting with Diamond and Pearl, but I'm sure at the time of these games, when they were still like actively supported by Nintendo, I'm sure berries were huge too, because especially in Emerald, because they added some effects to berries that actually lower EVs and stats, which I'll talk about EVs later when they matter more, but for now, just know they involve the Pokemon stats and how high and low they can get. But yeah, berries are very important to the series as a whole. I just don't... Actually, I don't know why I just said I just don't, because actually in this game in particular, there are so many berries that actually come in handy throughout the journey, because there is, for some godforsaken reason, limited item storage in this game, but berries actually have their own pockets, so you can actually pick up, like, I think 99 to 999 is one of those numbers, is the max of how many items of each type you can carry in a bag. You can carry that many of every type of berry individually, and it won't affect the bag space for the normal items bag. I don't know how I managed to encounter something out of a jump, but my luck, my bad luck specifically, is quite impressive today. I am playing this game on an emulator because my stupid ass didn't know that Loopy is actually still selling Capture original DSs. I thought that since he was done with 3DS and the site hadn't been updated in many years, I think it was like 1 or 2 years without an update on the site for original 3DSs. I thought he was just done with original 3DSs, but or original DSs rather. But nope, he still sells capture units, and I just didn't know, so I thought, oh, well, to Let's Play Pokemon Emerald, I'm gonna have to spend all that money to get a GameCube and a GameCube player and a GameCube HDMI converter and all this complicated stuff that I would require to actually record from a legitimate console. And of course, I know I'm stupid now, but he didn't actually update the site until like a day after I recorded the first episode of this series, which I am beyond upset about, like, at myself, not at Loopy. I don't blame him, but like, yeah, I've gone so long only recording from actual consoles, like not counting the bonus videos from Soul Silver, with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I started doing everything with the Elgato and the original console, and then here we are back on an emulator. This is Petalburg City's gym. This is the gym sign. Look for it, whatever. We will do that in a sec, but I do want to talk to a few people. Where's our Wally gone? We have to leave for Verdanturf Sound very soon. Interesting. My face is reflected in the water. It's a shining grin full of hope. Or it could be a look of somber silence struggling with fear. What do you see reflected in your face? I see 2 straight lines because... Okay, I know I said I'm not going to be negative. I know I've said that I do like this game, and I do, because this is the best of the GBA Pokemon games, but I don't like this game's art style at all. I feel like this game just looks ugly. I don't feel this way about Fire Red or Leaf Green, but something about Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald's art style just bugs me. I don't know what it is either. Like, technically these games look fantastic. I just don't like how they look. I don't know what it is. Whatever. Well, if it isn't winter, so you're all finished moving in. I'm surprised that you managed to get here by yourself. Oh, I see. You're with your Pokemon. And I guess you're going to become a trainer like me. That's great news. I'll be looking forward to it. I'd like to get a Pokemon, please. You're, Oh, right. You're Wally, right? I'm going to stay with my relatives in Verdanturf Town. I thought I would be lonely by myself, so I wanted to take a Pokemon along. But I've never caught a Pokemon before, I don't know how. I see. Winter, you heard that, right? Go with Wally and make sure that he safely catches a Pokemon. Wally, here, I'll loan you my Pokemon. Wally received a Zigzagoon. Oh, wow, a Pokemon. I'll give you a Pokeball too. Go for it. Oh, wow, thank you. Winter, would you really come with me? Sure would. This is the game's catching tutorial, if you couldn't guess. Winter, Pokemon hide in tall grass like this, don't they? Please watch me and see if I can properly catch one. Whoa! So you're telling me this kid found a 3% encounter rate Pokemon on his first attempt at level 5. Okay. Wally's a bit of an interesting character. I like him a lot, actually.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, I do like Wally, and you'll see why later. You throw a ball now, right? I'll do my best. I don't know. I like him. I like his design, too. Normally, I don't really like characters with, like, green hair, because green is just a color that makes me feel gross. I do really like the green they used on Ralts, Curly, and Gardevoir, although I despise the fact that they made the green on Galate a darker color. Whatever. Gotcha, Ralts was caught. I did it. It's my Pokemon. Winter, thank you. Let's go back to the gym. So, did it work out? Thank you. Yes, it did. Here's your Pokemon back. Winter, thank you for coming along with me. You two are why I was able to catch my Pokemon. I promise I'll take really good care of it. Oh, my mom's waiting for me, so I have to go. Bye, Winter. Now, Winter, if you want to become a strong trainer, here's my advice. Head for Rustboro City beyond this town. There you should challenge the gym leader, Roxanne. After her, go on to defeat other gyms and their leaders. Collect badges from them, understand? Of course, I'm a gym leader too. We'll battle one day, Winter, but that's only after you become stronger. Aren't you going to the Pokemon gym in Rustboro City? There's no challenge for me to battle a greenhorn trainer. Winter, I want you to challenge me when you become a lot stronger. I'll battle you, Winter, when you can show me 4 gym badges, okay? 4 badges, huh? Sounds easy. Famous last words, except they aren't even famous. They're just last words that are worthless and aren't going to help anybody. Okay, so we caught ourselves some team members. We caught multiple Zigzagoon just for the fact that they have pickup for an ability, which aren't holding anything right now. We made it here to Petalburg City, where we helped Wally catch himself a Pokemon. I think we made some good progress. So, next time on Pokemon Emerald, we are going to be heading out of Petalburg City into the next route. I'll see you guys then.